This next person, 2019 National Harriet Tubman Freedom Award winner, has helped to free the possibility of countless thousands of students in her career thus far, and she's just getting started. She's a person who, and I will speak personally in this context, when we were fortunate enough to have Constance Evelyn come to the Auburn community, and because she was not only the first female superintendent, she was the first Black superintendent. She put feelers out all over the community. She wanted to know how she could get to know the people that she was going to have to serve. And she was very clear with so many of us that she was here to serve. A lot of times when you're in a leadership position, you think you're there to lead. And you forget that you can only lead if people are willing to follow. Otherwise, you're going on a journey alone. Then you get an attitude that no one's following you. You start throwing your weight around. No personal stories here. So what Constance did, and I will paraphrase and call her Connie if I may. What Connie did was she put these feelers out to find out how she could actually communicate with the people that she had come to serve. So one day after one day after several months, she called me up and said, "Sean, I'm not reaching the people I need to reach." And so we went on a walk. And we started walking through the neighborhoods. And just introducing her, just walking up on the stoop, walking up to the rock, right? And just introducing her to everybody in their domain, where they felt special. At one point, Connie came to me as I had approached her and said, "The New York Dance Festival does thousands of dollars per summer and scholarships for people to be able to come and do world-class dance. And that I, as an example, recognize that dance changed my entire trajectory. The musical theater changed my entire trajectory, put me in a different circle, which changed my life." She had seen the same exact thing happen both with athletics and the performing arts. And so she wanted to be able to tap into that. So she came to me after I knocked down her door, and she and I came to an agreement where the first year we did, I think, $22,000 in scholarships to make certain that Black people and young ladies had an opportunity to come in and to be able to do this kind of work where they could have this life change. By the time we were done, we had up to about $67,000. And Connie was doing that in every community around the state. Then she was picked by the governor to be on a statewide educational panel. And then at the federal level. And everywhere she goes, she speaks the truth of the people who she wishes to serve. And she will call me up sometimes even now and say, "Sean, there are people I'm still trying to reach." She has one of the biggest megaphones in the educational environment in our United States of America, and she's still trying to talk to the 3-year-olds in all of us. 2019 Harriet Tubman Freedom Award winner is Constance Evelyn.
David, I might cry. I want to say that I'm so grateful to be here. I want to thank the nominating committee, the New York Institute for Dance and Education, the Kaleidoscope Dance Theater, and all of you, who many of you I know so well, and I feel like I've come home. I was in the car on the way here from Long Island, and it's like Escape from New York, right? It takes you 2 hours just to get out of New York City and then breathe. And I turned on the music for the first time in a long time. And my son, who's always with me, both spiritually and physically, is here with me, Kira Marshall. so proud of, who supported me on this journey that we've been on together. So we're in the car, and we're on our way back to Auburn, and we have the music on. And Kira was born in Central New York, and he spent his formative years in Auburn, New York, learning about Harriet Tubman in his classrooms. And so he was happy, and we were just filled with joy that we were on our way back home. You know, it's hard to really embody the courage and spirit of Harriet Tubman, but I try to do that every day in my work because of my parents, Alma and Clyde Evelyn, who rescued me from the orphanage and raised me to believe that I had a responsibility to give back what my ancestors had provided for me, a pathway, right, to freedom. And when we talk about freedom, we have to talk about having a spirit of moral courage that forces you, right, not to just stand where you are and not to just look forward, but to look back to the path that was blazed for you. And so I'm just going to talk about Alma Evelyn just for a minute, because when she went to that orphanage to get me, they tried to convince her not to take me home. And she said, no, I think I'm going to take her home. She'll be okay with me. They said, well, she's retarded, you know. She said, that'll be okay. We'll fix that. And so at 11, she sat me down at the kitchen table where all important talks happened. She said, well, you're not going to go to the neighborhood school because that's the pathway to the penitentiary. You're going to have to go to school across town. It's going to take you 3 buses to get there in about 2 hours. You're going to live with Aunt Gloria now, but not really. Here, you take this address, you memorize this, and you don't cause any problems at that school. This is the best education, public school education that Queens has to offer. And so really, after 2 hours of the first day and I was getting lost, I came home and I said, this has been quite an experiment, Mom. Thanks so much. I think I'll just go to the neighborhood school, right? And so on we went from there. You know, Harriet leaves a spirit, no doubt, that we should be keenly aware of our need to be reminded about our responsibilities as Americans, to one another, and to our country. And I can't tell you how humbled I am to receive this award. It's my honor to stand in the gap for all children, to ensure that they have access to high quality education, because I know that that is the pathway to freedom, right? That is the pathway for them to find their voice in Harriet's legacy, so that they can continue to carry on the work that she has done. If I had a theme for her life, it would be love of God, inspiring courage, and steadfast commitment to freedom and liberty. And so I want to thank all of the other honorees. It's an honor to be standing here with you. It's a privilege to be back in Auburn, and I'm so humbled, really humbled to receive this award. Thank you so much.